Okay, good evening, and I am currently looking at page 54 in the book, and I'm going to run through a couple examples of each type of problem you'll be dealing with on this problem set. The first one, I'm going to look at number 7. Now, you guys have evens as your problem set, so I'm going to be doing odds. Okay? So, number 7. Also, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I left my stylus at school. I'm doing this at home, so the writing is going to be even worse than normal. Number 7, if I have a number line there, I have two numbers, I have -9, and then over here I have 6, okay? I have given you that the midpoint on a number line equals A plus B over 2. We're going to call this one A, the -9, and this one B, the 6. So we just plug our numbers in. We go -9 plus 6 over 2. That gives us -3 over 2, -1.5. So right there in the middle, 1.5. Don't forget the negative. And that would be how you do number 7. Really, you want to focus on this equation right there. The midpoint is A plus B over 2. So add those two numbers up, divide it by 2, and that will be your midpoint. Now, the fact that you have a midpoint, but you're using ordered pairs, doesn't really change all that much. So what I'm going to be looking at now is number 13. So the information given you in the book is it gives you the two ordered pairs and then asks you to find the midpoint. Now that's completely doable, but I like to sit there and quick sketch a graph. Like this. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting it on the Y line or X line. Okay. So there we go. We know that there in our middle we have 0, 0. Okay. So we now look. We are given that H is 7, 10. So that's 7 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that'll put us right there. So that is 7, 10. And the other number is 5, -8. So we still go over positive 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now we go down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. So those are our 2 points. And we are going to connect them with a line. So what the problem is asking us is what is the midpoint on that line? Now, if I was just going to estimate, I'd say it was kind of somewhere around here. I'm not 100% sure one way or another, but it looks that way, and that gives me a general idea of what I should be looking for in my answer. Okay, my x should be around -6, and from 10 to -8, I'm looking at a positive around 1 or 2. So what I want to do next, I'm going to leave this page, but I'll come back to it. What I want to do next is I want to, excuse me, I want to write down the actual points. Okay, so the points they give me are, again, 7, 10, 5, -8. And I want you to remember that what we're looking for are the midpoints. And just like back here, where we were finding the average, here we're going to do the same thing. So what we want to do is to find the average of the x's, or the midpoint on the x's. We say that our midpoint on x is equal to x1 plus x2 over 2. Now that should look a whole lot like that. Midpoint equals a plus b over 2. So you may ask, what is x1 and x2? Well, we need to go up here. x1, y1, x2, y2. Doesn't matter which way you go. Given that the nature of addition, the commutative property of addition, whether you go 7 plus 5 or 5 plus 7, you're going to get the same answer. Same thing with 10 minus 8 or negative 8 plus 10. Same answer. So what we want to do now is plug in our numbers. So that 7 goes where the x1 is. We add that 5 right there, and we get 2. 7 plus 5 gives us 12. Divided by 2, jumping ahead a little bit, divided by 2 equals 6. So we're going to put our 6 right there. Now if I go back to the graph, let's look at what this actually means. What we just did was we took this line right here, wrong line, we took this right here, again, sorry, using my fingers, not my stencil, okay, or stylus. We took that line right there. Now that is 2 units. And what we did was we said that the middle of the x goes right there. Now again, if we look where that crosses that line, it's right there, right where we thought it would. So we're in good shape so far. And again, if we look at the equation we used, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, it is essentially the same one as we used back here on the straight line. M equals a plus b over 2. So that gives us xm equals 6. So now we're going to look at our y's. So here, let me switch colors really quickly. Let's go purple. Here we're going to be looking at this line right here. And we want to be able to cut that line in half. Now we have the 10 up here and the negative 8 down here. So when we go over here, we go ym, our midpoint y, okay? So again, back over here, we know that our first point, 5, negative 8, and our second point, 7, 10, both are ordered pairs. So therefore it makes sense that our midpoint is also going to be an ordered pair. So we go, the midpoint of the y coordinate of the midpoint is going to be y1 plus y2 over 2. And that is going to give us, if we look up at what our y1 is, it's 10 minus 8 over 2. That gives us 2 over 2, or 1. So our point there that we're looking for is 6, 1. We go back here and plot 1 right there. We're in purple because we're Y. And that's right there, right where we thought it would be. Okay? Now again, keep in mind, I'm doing this with my finger. I'm doing this on a tablet, so it's not ultra precise. If you actually got a graph out, made sure everything was spot on, those 3 lines would all cross at 6, 1. So now you know how to find the coordinates of the coordinates of a midpoint when given the endpoints. So if you need help with finding the coordinates of an endpoint when given the one endpoint in the midpoint, flip on over to the next video.